Before we begin this sacred journey, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Feel your heart beat. It has been echoing since before time began. If these words touch something deep within you, then subscribe, like, and share this light. For every heart that awakens becomes a mirror to another. Now, listen, not with your ears, but with the silence that lives inside you. Intro flowing into the speech where time ends. You begin, not as a body, not as a name, but as a remembrance. The clock you follow is only a shadow of eternity. The ticking of moments is the heartbeat of the infinite calling you home. Ibn Arabi said that existence is a mirror in which the divine contemplates itself, and you, the seeker, are that mirror. Every moment you live is not passing away. It is unfolding the eternal within you. The mind believes in beginnings and endings, in past and future, but the soul moves in circles, not lines. When you awaken, you see that the end of time is not destruction, it is revelation. Time dissolves not into nothingness, but into now, the living moment where God is never absent. When the mystic looks beyond the hours, they see that the universe breathes with them. The stars move not to mark time, but to remind us that we are motionless in the heart of the eternal. Birth, death, loss, joy, these are not events, but waves of the same ocean rising and falling in the rhythm of divine remembrance. Ibn Arabi taught that the beginning and the end meet in the heart of man. When you know yourself beyond name and form, you stand where creation and creator meet, not in the distance of heavens, but in the stillness of your own being. The soul that knows itself transcends time, for it recognizes that it has never been apart from the timeless. You have not come from the past, nor are you going to the future. You are the bridge between both, the meeting point of light and shadow, the mirror where eternity recognizes itself. When you close your eyes and listen deeply, you realize that what you call life is the infinite remembering itself through you. Every breath you take is older than the stars and yet younger than dawn, for in the realm of the real, everything exists at once, unified in the eternal now. Do not ask where the path leads, for the path is within you. Do not search for meaning in the flow of time. Meaning exists only in awareness. When you awaken to this truth, the past loosens its hold, the future loses its weight, and what remains is the still, unbroken awareness that has never moved. That awareness is your true self. The one who watches time pass yet is untouched by it. Ibn Arabi's wisdom whispers across centuries. He who knows himself knows his Lord. To know yourself is to awaken to that part of you which cannot die, cannot decay, cannot end, for it is not born in time. It is the source from which time flows. You are not within time. Time is within you. You are not the wave that rises and falls. You are the ocean holding every tide. The witness watching the beginning and end dissolve into a single eternal presence. So when time ends, you begin, for you are the secret the infinite hid within the ticking of every second, waiting for you to remember that eternity was never somewhere else. It was always here, within you, watching, waiting, shining through the veil of becoming. And when you remember, the world does not disappear, it awakens. Every face becomes divine, every sound becomes prayer, every heartbeat becomes God remembering himself through you. Then, finally, you understand. The end of time was never the end. It was only the moment. You opened your eyes and realized you were always eternal. Time is not what it seems. It does not flow forward like a river carrying us helplessly downstream. It is more like an ocean, still and deep, upon which the waves of events rise and fall. The human mind perceives these ripples as moments, birth, youth, decay, endings, and calls them time. Yet the mystic knows that beneath this movement lies something unmoving, something eternal. Ibn Arabi spoke of this stillness as the true reality, the eternal now, where all beginnings and endings dissolve into one presence. The illusion of time is born from perception, not from truth. What we call past is only memory. What we call future is imagination. Both live inside the present moment, which is the only reality that ever was. The seeker must awaken from the hypnosis of seconds and hours. The ticking of the clock is the song of illusion, convincing us that we are bound by change. But the soul is untouched by time. It does not grow old. It does not move through years. It simply witnesses. The body ages, the mind forgets, but the awareness watching it all, that is what Ibn Arabi called the reflection of the divine within man. When you look beyond your memories and hopes, what remains is the silent witness, the unbroken consciousness that has never been young or old. That is the part of you that time cannot touch. In the realm of the spirit, nothing truly begins, and nothing truly ends. The seed and the flower exist together in the eternal pattern of creation. The sunrise and sunset are not opposites, but reflections of one continuous light, hidden and revealed by turns. The divine does not move from one moment to another. It is the stillness in which moments appear. We, lost in movement, forget this stillness and call it distance. We call it time. Yet the mystic remembers. The past is not behind you, and the future is not ahead of you. They are both within you, unfolding in the endless now. Each instant of awareness is a doorway to eternity. The one who learns to be fully present steps beyond the illusion of the clock and enters the vast stillness where God is always near. Ibn Arabi said that every moment is a new creation, and if you can see it, you will witness the divine breathing the universe into being at every heartbeat. Creation is not something that happened once long ago. It happens continuously, in the eternal moment that never ends. The world is recreated in every breath of awareness, and when you awaken to this truth, you see that nothing is old, nothing is late, and nothing is lost. The soul that lives in remembrance feels no fear of change, for it sees that change itself is the dance of the infinite. What you call time is the rhythm of divine imagination. It paints the cosmos with the brush of becoming and erases it again in the ink of return. But what holds both creation and dissolution is one, unchanging, timeless being. When you awaken to this, every moment becomes sacred. Even the ordinary act of breathing becomes a reflection of eternity entering and leaving your form. The mystic does not seek to escape time, but to see through it. To live fully in the present is not to reject the past or deny the future. It is to realize that both are expressions of a single moment, infinitely unfolding. When you see the present in this way, you step out of the story of time. You no longer live as a character trapped in the pages of yesterday and tomorrow. You become the author, the awareness in which all stories arise. The infinite has written itself into your being, and you are the sentence through which eternity speaks. Silence is the true language of this awareness. In silence, time loses its grip, thoughts fade, memories dissolve, and what remains is pure existence, the same presence that was before creation and will be after all worlds fade. To dwell in this silence is to stand outside the cage of time. You begin to see that every moment of your life was never separate. All your joys and sorrows, your beginnings and endings, were part of one continuous revelation. The past was not lost. The future is not coming. Both are already here, within the vastness of your being. In the light of this realization, the illusion of time melts away like frost before dawn. The seeker stops chasing moments and begins to live in the heart of eternity. What was hidden becomes visible. Every breath, every heartbeat, every flicker of awareness is the divine meeting itself in endless recognition. The eternal now is not far. It has always been here, waiting behind the curtain of thought. When the curtain falls, Timaeus said, the universe is not a collection of separate things. It is a single mirror reflecting the face of the divine in endless forms. Ibn Arabi taught that all existence, the self-disclosure of the One, the eternal gazing upon its own beauty through the veil of creation. Every object, every being, every heartbeat is a reflection of that gaze. Yet humanity, lost in the glitter of appearances, believes the reflection to be the reality. We see the image and forget the light that makes it visible. The mystic reverses this vision. He learns to see through form into essence, through motion into stillness, through self into the beloved. In every reflection, he perceives the same luminous center, the same silent witness shining through all shapes of being. When the seeker looks at the world with awakened eyes, he no longer sees separation. The tree, the river, the mountain, the face of a stranger, all reveal the same secret. There is only one seeing itself in countless ways. The mirror of existence does not belong to you or to me. It belongs to the infinite that lives through all. This understanding is not reached through intellect, but through the heart, for the heart is the true mirror polished by remembrance. Each act of love, each moment of stillness, wipes away a little more dust until the surface becomes clear, and the light of the real shines unobstructed. To see the divine in all things is not imagination. It is the most precise form of perception. What you call beauty is the moment when the reflection aligns with its source and you glimpse unity behind the veil of diversity. What you call longing is the soul recognizing its own reflection in another form and yearning to return to wholeness. Every attraction, every joy, every pain is a movement of the divine remembering itself through the mirror of the world. In this sense, love is not an emotion. It is the recognition of sameness beneath difference, the whisper of the ocean calling to its waves. But the mirror of existence is twofold. It reveals and it conceals. It shows the face of the divine while hiding its essence behind form. The seeker, who clings to form, remains lost in reflection. The one who looks beyond sees that everything he desires has been present all along. The world is not a distraction from God. It is God appearing as the world. Each moment is an unveiling, a self-revelation of the infinite through time and space. The mystic's task is not to escape creation, but to awaken within it, to recognize the eternal playing through the temporary. In the mirror, opposites exist side by side. Light and shadow, birth and death, joy and sorrow. They are not enemies, but necessary contrasts that allow the reflection to appear. Without shadow, light could not be known. Without form, formlessness could not be realized. Ibn Arabi called this the unity of opposites, the dance of being and non-being through which the divine reveals its endless possibilities. The one who sees truly does not choose one over the other, but recognizes both as expressions of the same truth. He does not curse the storm or worship the calm, for both are the face of the same reality. Every human being is a mirror within you said. The journey towards self-knowledge is not a path of discovery, but of remembrance. You do not find something new. You awaken to what has always been within you. Ibn Arabi taught that the human being is a microcosm of the divine reality, containing all names, all attributes, all reflections of existence. When you look deeply into yourself, you are not merely exploring your mind or emotions. You are walking through the inner chambers of the universe itself. The outer world is vast, but the inner world is infinite. Every star, every ocean, every breath of wind has its counterpart within the human soul. The seeker who learns to turn inward finds that he is not a fragment of creation, but its mirror, and in that reflection, the hidden truth begins to shine. The path begins when you start to question the I that speaks within you. Who is this that says I am? The body changes, the mind evolves, the emotions shift like clouds, yet the sense of being remains constant. That awareness, silent and timeless, is the root of your existence. It is not personal. It does not belong to the individual. It is the echo of the eternal within the temporary. When you strip away the layers of identity, name, role, belief, fear, memory, what remains is pure being, untouched by time or circumstance. That is the self that Ibn Arabi called the complete mirror, where the divine knows itself through human consciousness. The tragedy of humanity is forgetfulness. We mistake the reflection for the source, the mask for the face. We identify with the roles we play, worker, parent, believer, dreamer, and forget the still awareness behind them. The spiritual journey is the process of remembering, of awakening from this dream of separation. Every trial, every joy, every heartbreak is a reminder from the divine, calling you back to yourself. The soul does not seek God as something distant. It seeks to remember that it has never been apart. This remembrance, or dhikr, is not only the repetition of sacred words, but the state of constant awareness, seeing the divine presence in every breath, every heartbeat, every thought that arises and fades. Self-knowledge is not achieved through analysis or logic, but through presence. When the mind becomes quiet, when thought ceases to dominate perception, the reality of being reveals itself naturally. The mystic does not create this awareness. He uncovers it, as one wipes dust from a mirror to reveal its shine. In this stillness, one realizes that the self is both nothing and everything. Nothing as a separate identity, everything as a reflection of the one. The seeker who reaches this realization experiences a paradoxical truth. He disappears as an individual yet becomes infinite in awareness. The I that once felt small and bound now expands to include all that is. In the depths of remembrance, even the idea of a journey fades. There is nowhere to go, you said. Love is the force through which the unseen becomes visible, the language in which the infinite speaks to itself through creation. It is not merely a feeling or emotion, but the very essence of existence, the pulse of the divine heart animating every form. Ibn Arabi described love as the secret of being, the reason for creation, the purpose of life, the bridge between the known and the unknowable. When God said, "I was a hidden treasure and love to be known," it was love that moved the eternal from concealment to manifestation. Every atom, every soul, every star exists because of that love. It flows through all things, connecting what appears to be separate into one boundless unity. To love truly is not to desire or possess, but to recognize oneself in the beloved, to see the divine reflected in another face, another form, another moment. When the seeker awakens to this reality, love ceases to be a transaction and becomes a revelation. It is no longer about what one gains or loses, but about what one sees, the face of the beloved shining through all veils. In the presence of such love, judgment dissolves, for the lover understands that everything, even pain, is an expression of the beloved's infinite play. Every heartbreak becomes a mirror polishing the soul. Every joy becomes a doorway to gratitude. The mystic does not flee from love's intensity. He surrenders to it, allowing it to consume his false self until nothing remains but the burning awareness of union. Love becomes his teacher, his path, his prayer. Through it, he learns to die before death, to vanish as a separate being and awaken as the heart of existence itself. In this divine love, there is no duality. The lover and the beloved, the seeker and the sought, are one. What appears as longing is simply the infinite yearning to recognize its own reflection. Ibn Arabi taught that every love, human or divine, fleeting or eternal, is ultimately a doorway to the same truth. When you love another person, you are not merely drawn to their form. You are responding to the divine beauty shining through them. Every affection, every attraction, every tenderness is a spark of that eternal fire seeking to return to its source. The wise lover looks beyond the form and sees the flame that burns behind it. He knows that even when the form passes, the love remains, because it never belonged to the world of change. Love reveals itself most clearly in loss. When the object of love fades, the soul discovers whether it was loving the form or the essence. True love does not die when the body is gone, when distance grows, or when words fail. It deepens, becomes silent, and expands into formlessness. That is why Ibn Arabi said that love is the path of annihilation. It destroys all illusions of separation until the lover realizes that he has always been the beloved. To walk this path is to burn away the ego, to surrender every defense, and to let the fire of the real consume all that is false. The ashes that remain are not emptiness, but pure awareness, the heart in which the divine recognizes itself without distortion. In the presence of such love, even opposites are reconciled. Beauty and pain, union and separation, joy and sorrow, all reveal the same truth when seen through the eye of love. The lover no longer resists the unfolding of life, because he sees the beloved in every face and every moment. When he laughs, it is the beloved's joy. When he weeps, it is the beloved's longing. Every experience becomes sacred because it is a meeting with the one who wears infinite masks. This is why the mystic spoke in paradoxes, because in love, contradictions dissolve. To lose is to find, to suffer is to awaken, to die is to live. Love does not belong to the human heart. The human heart belongs to love. It is the vessel through which the ocean of the infinite tastes its own depth. Every act of kindness, every spark of compassion, every breath of forgiveness is the movement of that vast ocean within the boundaries of form. When you give love freely, without condition, You are not performing a moral act, you are aligning yourself with the rhythm of the cosmos. You become a channel through which the divine flows into the world. That flow is what the mystics call grace, the unseen current carrying every soul toward remembrance. The culmination of love is silence, not because words fail, but because there is nothing left to say. When the lover reaches the heart of love, he finds no distance left to cross, no question left to ask. The journey ends where it began, in the quiet knowing that there was never two, only one, forever revealing itself through the dance of love.